Time now for our special monthly installment of Inside Justice, what was supposed to be a review of the district attorney's proposed budget by the Onondaga County Legislature today, turned into the district attorney talking openly about his strained relationship with the Syracuse Police Department. At one point, the DA accused the police chief of giving out misinformation to embarrass his office, and there have been other comments about this. In fact, the DA joins us here tonight for our monthly segment. We've talked about these issues back and forth with the police chief and, for that matter, the city administration. Why did this come up today? Why did you feel like you needed to talk about this during this budget session?
Well, there were two contexts that my relationship with the chief came up, and I'm not necessarily accepting the premise that we started here, but the first one was my explaining to the legislature the hundreds of hours of man and woman hours that my office had to expend to answer what 3 different independent agencies, 2 state and 1 national, decided was a completely frivolous, unfounded, unwarranted, and totally without substance complaint by the Syracuse Police Department against the crime lab. People have to understand, we didn't just say, well, this isn't true. I mean, we had to research literally dozens of cases. We had to share information with defense attorneys. We have convictions that were potentially jeopardized. This was a very, very serious matter, and I don't think it's been dealt with appropriately by the chief or the city administration. Their comment today, their only comment on record today about what I just said is, we haven't read the report.
You know, I would think that most people out there look at the police department and think, okay, these are the guys who make the arrests, your office prosecutes them. At what point do things need to change here, and what needs to be done to change this relationship between you all? Because I would imagine that most folks out there think that you work well together and that you should be working together.
I need to emphasize, Megan, that we always will work together. I will never compromise public safety because I happen to disagree with the way the chief runs his department, and I'm sure vice versa. I don't have any doubt that Frank Fowler wants to keep the city as safe as I do. That the people need to understand that, and I'll continue to work as a professional. But when you look at things objectively, 8 confessions thrown out in 12 months, that's a fact. That needs to be addressed. That needs to be addressed by training, which the chief has resisted. You file a complaint, 18 specific complaints against the crime laboratory. Not a single one of them have any substance. In fact, the Inspector General, who is appointed by Governor Cuomo, said the Syracuse Police Department needs to understand how the criminal justice system works. That's a very, very serious thing to say. And to respond, I haven't read the report, I don't think that's acceptable.
Who resolves this issue, though? Is it the mayor? Does she need to get involved here, or can you all work it out together? The
mayor's involvement has been consistent from day one since this thing went public over the videotaping of confessions. I have the best chief of police in the world. The DA is wrong, and that's it. And there's never any more substantive. I mean, I'd be more than happy to sit down and talk to her and explain to her what the problem is.
The Inspector General report regarding the crime lab suggested that there be training. Have those training sessions taken place?
Matt, we had a minimal training session regarding laboratory procedures where there were more officers from town and village departments than there were for the Syracuse Police Department. And that was a specific recommendation from the Inspector General. Right. But I'm not giving up. I'm continuing to offer that to the chief. We actually had a meeting today about the crime laboratory. I'm going to continue to press that issue, and I hope he agrees that this is the way to go.
We did reach out to Chief Fowler and to the mayor to see if they had any comment on what was said at the meeting today or what you were talking about now, and they said no comment for today. We're going to continue the Inside Justice segment in just a moment.
There you go.
With the district attorney with more issues, including the Moreland Commission, which is looking into public corruption here in New York State when we come back.